Fox 10 Gulfstream. This is Next Weather.
The lovely dry air we had around for a couple of days is starting to retreat. You can see the moisture starting to increase on the water vapor loop. And here we go with the humidity and the increasing heat index as we head towards the weekend. Something you need to be on guard for. Here's what we're tracking. So storms ending tonight. We had some thunderstorms around. Most of those will fade out quickly. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, followed by a few isolated thunderstorms tomorrow, and fairly hot tomorrow. You got to call it fairly hot when the heat index is only going to be around 102 or 103. It's when we get up around 110 with the heat index is going to be a problem. That heat wave is heading our way, and this is what's causing it. That upper ridge over Texas keeps nudging a little more east and a little more east, and then by next week it's going to be pretty much right on top of us. So this thing's going to move over and center up over our part of the country, and that's going to give us a piece of this heat wave that's been really plaguing most of the country this summer. Forecast heat index for tomorrow in the short term between 100 and 103 in most locations. So significant heat, but not off the charts heat. That will be coming with time. In the tropics, not much going on. We've got one little wave out in the Atlantic that won't develop in the short term, but by the weekend and the first of next week, we may see some tropical development over the northern Leeward Islands. Long-range models take this to the north and don't bring it into the Gulf of Mexico, but we will watch it for you here on Fox 10 News. Odds of development now about 40%, so a medium chance something organizes over the weekend or early next week. And checking our forecast, our temperatures are the big story. Our rain chances also will be around. That's our only shot at cooling off Saturday and Sunday. Rain chance about 30%. Temperatures into the low to mid 90s and then up into the upper 90s by the second part of the weekend. 98, 99 Monday, and we could hit the century mark at times next week. Here's a look at that heat index as we go through the weekend and the first part of next week. Look at those heat index values. That gets us in the danger zone Monday and Tuesday. Plan accordingly. All right, coming up on Next Weather, we have to look at these above normal water temperatures across the world and how that is impacting weather everywhere. More on that coming up.
Can I play? Sure, but you need to bring your own truck. That's not a problem.
The Fox 10 Storm Tracker Fleet, taking you live to more places, covering the Gulf Coast like no one else can. Unrivaled experience, unparalleled severe weather coverage.
I think I need a bigger sandbox.
Well, we know it's hot outside on land, but it's not just the land areas that are scorching in the summer heat. The oceans are suffering too. The water temperatures around Florida has risen above 100 degrees down near the Keys, and that is threatening the largest coral reef, or the third largest coral reef in the world, and a lot of wildlife depends on that. So CNN's chief climate correspondent Bill Weir shows us the frantic rescue efforts for the coral.
Well, here in Cartagena, locals and tourists are used to bathtub warm waters in the Caribbean, but nothing like the numbers scientists are seeing now. North of us in Florida, around Florida Bay, triple-digit temperatures Fahrenheit, 101 degrees. That's the sea surface, highest ever recorded. 38 degrees Celsius. And as a result of that, some scientists are already seeing complete, total coral reef loss, 100% bleaching in some areas. There's no telling how much of Florida's reef system, what's left of it, will survive because we still have the 2 hottest months yet to go. All of this is a result, of course, of generations of heat-trapping gas in the atmosphere, holding down as much extra heat every second as 10 Hiroshima-sized atomic bombs. The depths of the ocean, that cold water has masked a lot of that obvious heat, but this year, obviously, you can't ignore it anymore. And this is just the beginning of a trend that scientists worry could have half of the planet's surface in a marine heat wave. That puts enormous stresses on coral systems, which are not just pretty for snorkels and scuba divers, but are the cradles of the sea, the nurseries of so much sea life. And on top of that, if you add acidification from all that carbon going in, sea creatures are facing stresses that are just off the charts right now. There is new science about a big circulation system in the Atlantic known as the AMOC. This is a triangular sort of shaped conveyor belt that takes warm water from the Caribbean here and up to Canada and even to the UK and across. That has been weakening as a result of Greenland shedding so much fresh water. If that shuts down, it's sort of an apocalyptic scenario we've seen in movies like The Day After Tomorrow. There is some debate as to when that tipping point could happen. A new paper has it as early as 2025, but as late as 2090. But either way, all the latest science points to warnings that we're heading to that key vital tipping point that must be avoided to preserve life as we know it on the planet. So in the meantime, some scientists, even in Miami, are desperately trying to save what corals they can, bringing them into laboratories. A futile effort given the scope of the problem right now. But again, we are just heading into the 2 hottest months of the year. Bill Weir, CNN, Cartagena, Colombia.
And coming up here on Fox 10, we're battling that heat. We'll see about the chances of some century mark type temperatures in your long range outlook.
New to the Fox 10 weather app, your 24-hour radar forecast. Be the first to see how precipitation is going to affect your plants across the Gulf Coast. Detailed hour by hour, the 24-hour radar forecast on the Fox 10 weather app. Plus the latest breaking news with the Fox 10 News app.
Got him, Bo.
Stay alert with Fox 10. Prime time is Fox 10 time.
The latest on the night's top stories are first on Fox 10 News at 9.
Wrap up your day, informed and ready for the morning.
All right, here's our extended forecast for the next 7 days, and it doesn't look good next week. We have hot on the board 5 days straight, and of course it's going to be hot really 7 days in a row, but it really gets extreme Sunday through Thursday with that upper ridge pattern building in. Highs close to 100. We could see some record highs next week. Heat index around 110 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so it's really going to be tough. Long range still hot into the end of the week next week. We may see it back off a little bit there, and a few extra thunderstorms by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the summer pattern is here to stay, and it may be a little hotter than normal over the next 10 days.